This is the recording for the problem statement and the resolving of the problem with the different approaches, and then concluding the final uh, best fit for the solution for the problem. So the problem was actually the display of tables and graphs on the UI. Initially, the project was developed as you can see here. The Leo front end was built up from scratch by myself, and there were scenarios like the login screen and the inner pages of the website should be authenticated access only. For that, the main thing that was developed, as I'll show you from the routes, is the private route that I have used here. I'll show you in here, as if this is an unauthenticated user, say false, and it mentions it is a authenticated user, then the private route will be used, and for with this, either the login page or the internal pages of the website will be displayed to the authenticated user only. Another thing here, the initial phase of the development, there were chances that few developers at the client end were using a login authenticated access to the code, while I was not having the permissions to hit their APIs. Hence, I used the feature flag concept for this. Either I uh, bypass the authentication, or I use the different sidebar for display, because on the development environment the code was running for the demo, and what I have been working was for the development only, and the progression for the work. Whether in that case I have there was to use routes or the backend, which particular backend should be used if I am inside the company premises, or if I'm outside the company premises. This is one thing. Second thing was how to display different tables, graphs, and maps. For that, since I have worked on fusion charts, so the best fit for graphical representation for either column charts, line charts, or bar charts, or the scattered plots, the fusion charts was the best fit for column 2D charts, and as well as for the fusion maps. The final thing was the select scatter. The select scatter is of a type in which the icons are being shown on the graph in between the x and y axis, with some icons at the value point. Icon can be a diamond shaped or a circular based dot, or it can be a square or a triangle. Another thing that was to be taken care was the use of tables in different uh, places, because since this is a medical domain website, so it has to contain a lot of data with year-wise segregations and words spreading across different rows or different columns. So for that, the best fit that I found was the use of data grid. Data grid is primarily using the AG grid component from AG grid React, which in turn provides me the feasibility to have a number of selections in the table with their individual IDs being bypassed for me in the form of set grid API or get grid API. These were the primary two functions for getting me the selected rows and their count as well as their data with the IDs. So there was like no much effort I need to put in if I develop the table from scratch. Hence, also having I was having the feasibility in using AG grid is the designing of the rows as I go with odd even approach or even only approach. So these were the things that has come up with me, and the solution for this, as I have shown you, was what the use of the things. Now, the final thing was after my implementation, as well as during my implementations and my approach taken for being the use of AG grid or being the use of vision charts or the use of feature flags for different kinds of accesses was first I verified and discussed it with the client, and after being like verified and we had a discussion, the approach was taken in the mindset that it doesn't go way much beyond the design that has been given by the client. Also, going forward is we had a regular KT session once in a week with the client. So the client comes in sync with the development phase. Moreover, the development was in the CI/CD way, like the best approach for the development of features in GitHub that we have followed is the use of branching and raising a PR, getting approved by the reviewers, and then merging it. The deployment part was being taken care by the client. I was not being a part of that. And yes, the recording of the screens for the development purposes for the demos that has been taken care by me as well. Thank you.